The national media has been asking the wrong question about the Chiefs all offseason. They want to talk about who's catching the ball, but the real question, the one that decides whether this 2026 season lives or dies, is who's protecting the guy throwing it. And right now, you cannot build an offense around a quarterback recovering from an ACL tear and leave the right side of his protection in question. Not with week 1 on Monday Night Football against the Broncos. There's an undrafted kid who was cut twice before December, who is now rotating with the first team offense and forcing Andy Reid to rethink this entire depth chart. His name, Esa Pole. There is one piece of data from his college career that the entire NFL somehow missed. And when I show it to you later in this video, it's going to make you question how he was ever available in the first place. Let's get into it. Before we talk about Esa Pole, Chiefs Kingdom, we need to talk about why this position matters so much right now. Because this is not just a depth chart story. Patrick Mahomes tore his ACL in December. He's attacking the rehab. Everything coming out of Kansas City says he's ahead of schedule and targeting week 1 against Denver. That's the optimistic headline, and we're choosing to believe it. But every single Chiefs fan knows what happens to this season if he isn't protected. We watch 2025 play out in real time. We know what this team looks like when the offensive line breaks down and the quarterback has no time. And Chiefs Kingdom, that cannot happen again. So naturally, the national media's first instinct is to talk about wide receivers. Bleacher Report called this receiving core questionable. ESPN is floating around blockbuster trade ideas for George Pickens and Deebo Samuels. And look, we're going to get to both of those because both conversations are worth having. But here's what they're all glossing over. The right tackle job is the highest stakes position battle going into training camp in St. Joe, and the competition is more wide open than anyone is admitting. So Jawan Taylor is out. The Chiefs moved on from him. Jalen Moore is entering year 2 of a 2-year, $30 million contract and holds the inside track. Khalil Benson, the undrafted rookie from Indiana, has been turning heads. And then there's Esa Pole. And Andy Reid just said something about Pole that changes this entire picture. But here's the part nobody is connecting yet. What Reid said publicly, what Pole did on film last year, and a college stat that the entire NFL somehow missed, they all add up to something much bigger than a camp competition. I'll show you exactly why in a moment. And real quick, if you're finding this valuable, please smash that like button. It's free, it takes 1 second, and it genuinely helps more Chiefs fans find this channel. Alright, the internet has been loud this week, and we need to address it. 2 names keep coming up for this Chiefs receiving core, George Pickens and Deebo Samuel. Let's give both a fair look because Chiefs Kingdom deserves both sides of this conversation. Bleacher Report's Mo Moton predicted this week that the Chiefs will make a run at George Pickens before the midseason trade deadline. And on paper, the case is real. In 2025, his first year with Dallas after being traded from Pittsburgh, Pickens had 93 catches for 1,429 yards and 9 touchdowns alongside CD Lamb. That is a legitimate wide receiver 1 season. He's 25 years old, he's on a franchise tag of $27.3 million, and the Cowboys have said publicly they don't intend to negotiate a long-term deal right now. That's exactly the kind of tension that produces mid-season trades. Now, both sides of this, because I'm not picking one for you. The case for trading for Pickens: he is a physical, contested catch receiver who wins on the perimeter, with Rice being a loose cannon and Worthy still recovering from shoulder surgery. Pickens would immediately be Mahomes' most dangerous downfield weapon. The upside is absolutely enormous. The case against it? The word that keeps coming up with Pickens is unpredictable. And this is a guy who burned bridges with an entire coaching staff in Pittsburgh so badly that they traded him for basically nothing. Showing up late to practice, late to meetings, reportedly late to games, the Steelers got a 3rd-round pick for a 1,400-yard receiver. That tells you something. Do you want that energy in a locker room trying to rebuild its culture after a 6-11 season? That's the honest question. Then there's Deebo Samuel. ESPN floated the idea of signing him as insurance for Rice and depth on the outside. Samuel is 30 years old. Last year with Washington, he had 72 catches for 727 yards and 5 touchdowns, a 10.1 yards per reception average that was a career low. He's still dangerous with the ball in his hands, 471 yards after the catch, and his ability to carry the ball out of the backfield gives Andy Reid a weapon in this offense that nobody else on this roster can replicate. But here's the honest question. Is the Deebo Samuel who terrorized defenses with the 49ers still in there at 30 years old? Or are we buying a depreciating asset at peak price because we're nervous about our receiver room? Chiefs Kingdom, I want to hear from you in the comments right now. Are you team trade for talent? Go get Pickens or Samuel? Or are you team trust the process and let Jalen Royals, Cyrus Allen, and Tyquan Thornton develop? Drop it below. I genuinely want to know where you stand on that. But here's the thing, and this is the point I need you locked in for. None of that receiver conversation matters if the man throwing the football doesn't have a clean pocket. So let's get back to the player who might be the most important person in that building right now. So let me tell you the Esa Pole story, because if you don't know it, you need to. This kid did not play a single snap of high school football. Not one. He played basketball. His mother steered him away from the game growing up because she worried about concussions. He didn't pick up football until junior college at Shabbat College in California. He transferred to Washington State, developed fast, declared for the draft, and nobody took him? Not one team in the entire NFL. He came to the Chiefs as an undrafted free agent, then got cut, went to the Jets, got cut by the Jets, came back to the Chiefs practice squad. Then, in December, when this offensive line was being held together with tape, he got elevated and played 275 snaps over the final 5 weeks of the season at left tackle, filling in for injured starters. 4 starts against some of the better pass rushers in this league, including the Broncos' edge on Christmas, where he was the highest graded Chiefs offensive lineman on the field. He allowed just 1 sack all 5 weeks. Now here is a piece that matters most right now. Andy Reid stood in front of the media during OTAs and confirmed Pole has been rotating with the first team offense at right tackle. And when asked about the competition, Reid said, and I'm quoting him directly, "Moore has been kind of the mainstay in there, and then we've moved guys in there. We'll see what happens." Chiefs Kingdom, "we'll just see what happens" from Andy Reid is not coach speak. That is Andy Reid publicly acknowledging this starting job is not locked up. That's Andy Reid leaving the door wide open for an undrafted player who has been playing football for 6 years to take a starting spot on one of the most scrutinized offensive lines in the entire NFL. So here's why Pole has a real shot, even at a new position. Jalen Moore is the presumed starter, but Moore has spent the majority of his career at left tackle. The right side demands different footwork and angles. Pole's athleticism from his basketball background, quick feet, elite hip movement, the ability to change direction without losing leverage, that translates directly to mirroring speed rushers on the right edge. Those gifts don't go away. They show up every single rep.
Shout out to Prize Picks for sponsoring this episode. Let's jump right in and do an entry today. Today, we're going to take France attacker Mbappe with 4.5 shots. We're going to go more right there. Then we're going to take Argentina attacker Lionel Messi versus Algeria. 0.5 goals. We think Messi is getting on the board. I'm going more there. And then we're going to go William Saliba, France defender, 78.5 passes attempted. I'm going to go less. Let's go less on that one. Let's lock that one in. Remember, you can go ahead and sign up for Prize Picks. The link is in the description. Use code HMA, and you can follow along with us all year long on Prize Picks at All Chiefed Up. Now back to the show.
If you remember, I said at the very top of this video, there was one piece of data about Esa Pole that the entire NFL somehow missed, and here it is. And I've been sitting on this the entire time. Before Pole ever took an NFL snap, in his final college season at Washington State, he started all 13 games and did not allow a single sack. 0. Over 498 pass blocking snaps, and for that performance, PFF College gave him an 86.7 pass blocking grade. That ranked second in the entire country among all college tackles. Second in the nation, 0 sacks allowed, and every single NFL team passed on him. The NFL is a what have you done for me lately league, and what Pole has done lately is earn first team reps from Andy Reid 3 weeks into OTAs, after transitioning to a brand new position, backed by a college resume that most drafted tackles can't touch. I'm planting my flag. Esa Pole earns this starting job before the end of August. Not because I love the storyline, though I absolutely do, but because the film supports it. The data supports it, and Andy Reid wouldn't be moving him with the ones if he didn't see something real. So, Chiefs Kingdom, here's where we land today. The national media is obsessing over wide receivers, and yes, the Pickens conversation is real, and the Deebo question is worth asking. You just told me where you stand in the comments. But the highest stakes battle for the 2026 season is happening in the trenches. And right now, an undrafted player who got cut twice before December is forcing his way into that conversation with film, data, and first team reps from one of the greatest coaches in NFL history. So guys, I need two things from you before you go. First, Esa Pole, legitimate starter by week 1 against Denver, or does Jalen Moore hold on? Pick a side. And second, if there's one move coming up, would you rather it be a trade for George Pickens or signing Deebo Samuel? Drop both answers below right now. If you got value out of today's breakdown, hit that like button. It genuinely helps more Chiefs fans find this channel. And if you're not subscribed yet, this is where we go deeper than the headlines every single week. Up next, we're going inside the Josh Simmons situation because the left tackle story has details that are not making the national headlines, and Chiefs Kingdom needs to know exactly what's happening there. That one is coming soon, so stay locked in. Go Chiefs.